This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. This segment of the news is brought to you by Silver State Health, bringing quality medical and psychiatric care to Pahrump. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us here on KPVM TV News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler. Thanks so much for being with us. Today is January 15th.
Well, Inyo County Sheriff's Office and the National Park Service is reporting the accidental death of a man at Saline Valley Warm Springs. That's a remote area in the far northwest corner of Death Valley National Park, about 55 miles west of Beatty. Authorities identified the victim as 63-year-old Donald Vanneman III from San Francisco. The Sheriff's Office says a volunteer at Warm Springs Campground noticed Vanneman's vehicle December 20th, but was unable to locate him. Later that day, 2 park visitors discovered Vanneman's body in the Palm Spring Source Pool. Regulations prohibit entry directly into the source pool. The Park Service says bathing is normally allowed in the man-made soaking tubs, but those are currently drained and closed due to COVID-19 restrictions.
Front Sight Firearms Training Institute is offering a 4-day free firearms training course to individuals who pledge to be part of what they call Trump's Army. The Front Sight founder, Dr. Ignatius Piazza, has started his own website called trumpsarmy.us. He says he's asking that law enforcement officers, military personnel, and private citizens join to be ready if directed by President Trump to stand shoulder to shoulder with him and the U.S. military forces he commands to protect and defend the office of the President, America's freedom, and the United States Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Piazza also has daily email updates on President Trump's legal battles to overturn what he says is a fraudulent 2020 presidential election and restore America's faith in free and fair elections, plus any personal directions that he might receive from President Donald Trump, his family, or legal team. Piazza says that he hopes and prays that as we approach Inauguration Day, January 20th, 2021, Trump's Citizen Patriot Army is not needed to protect and defend the office of the President, America's freedom, or the United States Constitution. The blog, he says, has chronicled the overwhelming evidence of massive voter fraud in the 2020 presidential election, with hundreds of sworn video testimony and expert data analysis that proves without a doubt that crimes that undermined America's long and storied history of free and fair elections, stealing the 2020 election from President Donald J. Trump. He adds that he is not willing to sit idly by and allow the greatest country in history of the world to be destroyed. He says, together we can do something about it. So as citizen patriots, if we truly want to do something to ensure peace in our nation and truly desire to preserve the America we know and love, we must be prepared. Nye County District Attorney Chris Arabia has said that he has no comment at this time on the website or its content.
Well, Jonathan Paul Williams appeared in Judge Lane's courtroom this week to answer charges of attempted arson and probation violations.
Williams was arrested on October 14, 2020, after patrolling officers observed a black cloud of smoke near the area of Blagan Basin Road in Pahrump. Dispatch notified officers that a fire had been reported in the area of Betty and Boot Hill. Witnesses reported seeing a white male fleeing the area of the fire, running toward Petrick Park. Upon making contact with Williams, he denied knowing what may have been on fire. After checking Williams through dispatch, officers learned that Williams had a current and active P&P warrant. When he was searched, a lighter was discovered in his pocket. Multiple witnesses said they saw Williams in the area of the fire before smoke became visible. One witness stated they saw Williams in the area acting suspicious, bending down and then walking away after throwing an unidentified item into the bushes. That was when smoke became visible. Williams pled guilty to attempted third-degree arson at his arraignment hearing. Judge Lane imposed sentence for Williams' attempted arson charge and his 2 probation violations. Williams received 1 year in jail for the attempted arson to run concurrent with his other cases. 1 parole violation was for burglary, and he received 28 to 70 months concurrent with diversion being revoked because of a drug charge. Credit for time served, 213 days. For the second parole violation for unlawful taking, 364 days in jail to run consecutive. Credit for time served of 213 days will be applied to the gross misdemeanor, 364 days. When jail time has been served, Williams was served the 28 to 70.
Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies say the stop of a suspicious vehicle has led to the arrest of a Pahrump man.
Sean Miller is under arrest and facing several charges, including ownership or possession of a gun by a prohibited person, speeding, disobeying a peace officer, resisting a public officer, failure to appear after bail for a felony crime, and 2 counts of failure to appear after bail for a misdemeanor crime. After what deputies describe as suspicious behavior in the early morning hours of January 8th, Miller sped away from a patrol vehicle in his car. Deputies initiated a traffic stop, but as officers approached Miller's vehicle, he began to slowly drive away. After a short pursuit, deputies say Miller jumped from the moving vehicle and took off on foot. Officers took off after him and eventually took him to the ground. Miller was placed under arrest and taken to Desert View Hospital for medical treatment. Meantime, the sheriff's office says the passenger in Miller's car jumped into the driver's seat and left the scene. Officers were able to locate Miller's vehicle, and the passenger told deputies there was a firearm in the car. A records check showed Miller had pled guilty to at least 2 felonies. Deputies also discovered Miller had 3 warrants out for his arrest, including a felony warrant for a prohibited person in possession of a firearm.
The latest news from the business world is coming up right after the break, so stick around.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, Target reports strong holiday sales and says stores will remain closed again this Thanksgiving. And Intel names a new CEO.
Target is already making a call about next Thanksgiving. The retailer plans to close the doors on the holiday for the 2nd year in a row. Target bagged a better than 17% increase in sales between November and December 2020 as online business more than doubled. The CEO of Intel is stepping down. Bob Swan will leave the top spot February 15th. He will be replaced by Pat Gelsinger, the CEO of VMware. Intel has been dealt with some blows from competitors. Most notably, Apple came out with its own chips for its Mac computers. That ended a 15-year partnership with Apple using Intel chips. There's another issue going on. According to Reuters, aggressive investor Dan Loeb and his Third Point hedge fund have a $1 billion stake in Intel. Loeb is tweeting his pleasure with the move to bring in the new CEO.
Pahrumph's newest winery is thriving despite COVID-19. Artesian Cellars is still a young venture, but winemaker Tim Burke says they've been able to weather the pandemic through forward thinking and careful planning.
We've been open a little less than 4 months, and customer response has been great, and we have people in here all the time. We offer 3 different labels because we like to appeal to a broad audience of people. Not everybody likes the same type of wine. We just introduced some new wines that we had bottled up out of our inventory a couple weeks ago. So we have a Movedra, we have a new Cab, we have a Tempranillo, we have a Primitivo that we've bottled up, and we're getting ready to release, hopefully in about a month, a late harvest Gewürztraminer, which is a sweeter wine, and a new rosé that we've developed here. We have wine tasting, and we tailor our tastings based on somebody's individual tastes. And if you're a wine club member, the tasting fees are waived, but it's very economical, $5, and it actually comes off the purchase price of a bottle of wine. The wine club gives the people the ability to get 4 bottles of wine for each release. They get a discount on the wines. We always throw a great party, and they get some special gifts. Traditionally, people love to get married around Valentine's Day. We have a whole package from very simple shotgun wedding type stuff all the way up to fancier ones, accommodating as many people as we can with social distancing. And they can get married by the winemaker, which is kind of a fun thing. With our great weather here, other than wind, we can pretty much host an event outside year-round. We originally had not planned on being quite the size of restaurant that we are, but because of COVID and because of the restrictions placed on us by the governor, we developed a menu of paninis and flatbread pizzas and desserts, all centered around wine pairings. So we are first and foremost a winery, but we also have this great selection of food now available 7 days a week for lunch and dinner.
Burke says Artesian Cellars is a great option for Valentine's Day celebration. For more information, call the winery or visit them online at artesiancellars.com. Artesian Cellars is located on Highway 160 just north of Calvada Boulevard.
And a report released by Las Vegas Realtors shows Southern Nevada home prices remain strong.
Data compiled by Las Vegas Realtors shows home prices remained in record territory to close out 2020 with rising home sales and a shrinking housing supply. LVR reports that the median price of existing single-family homes sold in Southern Nevada through its multiple listing service during the month of December was $345,000. That price matches the all-time record for existing local home prices set in November, and it's up 10.2% from December 2019. 2021 LVR President Aldo Martinez says, "I think we surprised a lot of people with how the local housing market not only held up, but set records during an otherwise rough year for our community and our local economy." LVR reports a total of 4,097 existing local homes, condos, and townhomes were sold during the month of December. Compared to the same time last year, that's up 26.7% for homes and up 30.9% for condos and townhomes. The total number of existing residential properties sold in Southern Nevada during 2020 was 41,617. That's up just slightly from 41,269 in 2019. For comparison, LVR reported 42,876 total sales in 2018 and 45,388 in 2017.
We'll be right back with more News 25.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Canyon Ridge Periodontics. Give them a call at 702-966-0302.
Thanks for being with us tonight. The Mitch Perry Band was in Pahrump for the Producer's Choice Awards last month. They accepted an award, showed their award-winning video, and also performed at the event. Mitch Perry stopped by News 25 on the red carpet to tell us a little more about it.
We got Video of the Year for our song Believe. Yeah, well, I mean, the song had been written a while before everything, but when I wrote the song, it wasn't meant, to believe in one specific thing. It was, a fairly ambiguous song. Insert your own situation, whether it's a job you're hoping for, a sports team you want to win, or, whatever you're hoping for, that winning lottery combination. You just got to believe it's going to happen. And, when we got the song back, or the album back, and we were told, guess what, stay home, don't do anything. The first song we were going to put out was Saint Valentine, which is more of a rocker. But I thought about the lyrics to Believe, and it was a no-brainer to cut up a video that alluded to everything that we're going through. And, we have a great guy, Ian Fisher, who put together the beautiful video that you see, and there you have it. A lot of people have said, how horrible it is. I mean, and absolutely, it is horrible. But they sit there and they go, oh, you can't tour, you can't play live. And while, yeah, that is horrible, and yeah, it's terrible, at the same time, it's given us maybe a little bit more space to put the music out there and actually get it noticed, because people are a little bit more freed up from going to the Motley Crue and Poison and Def Leppard show this year, yeah, well, that's the whole thing. You have to believe. And I mean, unfortunately, if you listen to the lyrics in the song, they do turn around in the last chorus, and they go, I just gotta believe, to now I know I believe, and and I hope it ain't the end of the line, to now I know it ain't the end of the line. So, it's got to be how we feel about everything. Just Google Mitch Perry. I go to MitchPerry.com. We've got a Mitch Perry group YouTube.
Well, you can find out more about Mitch Perry by just finding him online. Well, if you're using an old computer, chances are it's not as fast as it used to be. Josh Osborne tells us a little bit why that is.
Hi, it's Josh with Pahrump Zone Great Computer Deals. Let's get right into it. It's time for another quick tutorial. Josh's brutal truth. The top reasons why your computer is running slow. Your computer has hardware that is worn out and failing. It's time to get it fixed. You have way too many junk programs and security software using up all your valuable computer resources. You expect way too much from a low-end computer. A $300 Walmart laptop won't run high-end software. You're not running a solid-state hard drive. This newer technology allows you to access your data with no moving parts, and it's way faster. You can't get blood from a turnip, folks. It's time for a PC tune-up, fix-up, or a new machine altogether. Why trust a technician when you can trust a friend? Great Computer Deals is located at 1190 East Highway 372. Call us at 775-990-8833.
Each week, we feature some great dogs and cats available for adoption in our area. For today's Save a Pet, Darby O'Donnell visits Desert Haven Animal Society, where she introduces us to Rusty.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Rusty. Rusty's actually been in the shelter for quite some time now. He originally came in as a stray. He is very friendly, but he is a dog that has a lot of high energy, so he needs to be in a home that someone will take him on daily walks, play with him a lot, has a room to run, maybe even friends to go and play with. But Rusty is a terrier mix. He's actually a very interesting mix, but he has that rust color, which is why his name is Rusty. He also likes his butt pat and to wander around. If you want to see Rusty or any of his friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, please give them a call ahead of time to make an appointment, 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. Bye, Rusty. You want to say bye?
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler from KPVM Channel 25. We're aloft, we're airborne over Sanders Winery. It's balloons over Pahrump. Check the weather when we return.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Today in history, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Martin Luther King Jr. Happy birthday to you. Yes, thanks for being born. Good man. Right on. Happy birthday. Take Monday off. Tell him I said it was okay. Hey, look at that. Up in Fernley, 58 degrees for a high, 30 degrees for a low. Out in Fallon, 57 for a high, 26 for a low. Carson City, you're seeing as much as 66 degrees. Enjoy every degree of it. 32 degrees tonight as you head towards morning. Tonopah, 59 degrees. And somebody left the fridge door open. Yes, it's cold again in Tonopah at night. 27 degrees as you head towards morning. Goldfield, 59 degrees, 28 for a low. Out in Beatty, you're getting a look at 72 degrees and liking it. 43 degrees for your low tonight. Amargosa, even just a little bit better, 73 degrees and 44 for a low. And in Las Vegas, they didn't quite make the 70 mark. All right, 47 degrees for a low tonight. Out in Death Valley, if you want to feel some warm, it's all the way up to 80 degrees, 54 for a low. And here in the Paradise of Pahrump, well, it's looking about 64 degrees currently. 70 was our high today, and we had a little bit of wind south-southwest to 6 miles per hour to just to keep things, the sweat off the back and the neck. Humidity at 17% as the sun rose this morning. 6:54 a.m. and it went night-night at 4:53 p.m. We'll head for a low tonight of about 42 degrees and a little light winds to 4 miles per hour out of the east-northeast. Humidity at 28%. So we're going to see a few clouds and things like that. Let's take a look as we head on into the weekend, or rather Saturday. Yeah, a little bit of cloud. Not too much wind. They were saying it was going to be windy, but it looks like that prediction has tapered off until we get to Monday. Oh, Lord, 17 mile per hour winds, and continue on Tuesday at somewhat of a lesser clip. We'll have some clouds. Nobody's really talking about rain, but look at our temperatures going from ranging from highs of like 73 tomorrow down to 60 degrees. That's a 12%. I don't like that trend, but that's all right. It's spring. There's lots of time for everything to heat up nicely, so we'll enjoy the weekend while we can and send it back to the desk. Here's Deanna and Missy.
All right, we got Willie joining us today. Look at Willie.
He's the star of the show, isn't he handsome?
He's so handsome. Well, that's going to wrap up Friday's edition of News 25. From myself, Deanna O'Donnell, and Willie,
I'm Missy Kohler. We hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.
See you back here on Monday. Good night.